Welcome back to Dragon Age the Veilguard. We've got
An
Valara.
underwater prison? That's still pretty amazing.
Amazing? I suppose it is. Do you think the elves made it? It didn't seem to winter.
I think so. I wonder what it was built for. Originally, I mean.
Whatever it was meant for, it's a pit of misery now.
I didn't even know that,
Right.
that Tevinter didn't make it. Anyways, I've got Valara and Lucanis here. We're gonna go do some Treviso exploring. Everything seems to be fixed finally with this, so my character looks normal. My preview looks normal. I was going to go back to the lighthouse and do some stuff, but I think we'll just wait. Have my good luck here that everything graphically looks how I want it to look. And just do some Treviso questing here. Oh, wow. So this is the Crows' hideout, I guess? It's just up here in this rookery.
Your coin helps, and there's some good bargains out there for you.
About that? I'm pretty sure I sold all my stuff already, so I can't do that. Antivan tea set. An exquisite set. Its creator is a favorite of the Delamortes. This illustrious family has long been a patron of the artist. I can't speak right now. Contract the next false avatar. Crow diplomacy at its most hypothetical, possibly signed in jest with one of the more rambunctious divines. A price on the head of a false prophet should one arise. And then some stuff. Speaking of,
See you again.
okay, we have something to give to him. Hello.
Greetings, Rook. I am Air, one who provides training for Antivan Crows.
Okay.
You're not a crow yourself?
Not as such, but we are frequently at their service. That answer suits them, as it should suit you.
Why aren't you?
Can anyone hire you for training?
I've never been hired. Ours is a boon that is granted,
Ooh,
and
who
I
are
have
you
no
part of?
part in deciding who receives it. Not that it would matter. From what I observe, you are beyond any training
Okay.
I could impart.
Who are you currently training?
The fledglings, among others. To be an assassin is to know both the means and meaning of ending a life. It is difficult. A crow's response to a war is quite different than the response to a contract.
Okay. What's this? Next blight. Contract for the next blight. I was going to say, there's a couple of codex things I'm going to read out. I should start with this. Crow diplomacy dating from the fourth blight. As guild influence grew, Grey Wardens were the first to recognize true Antivan leadership. Thereafter, trees wore seals of queens, emperors, and crows. We did that one. The nature of immortality of nature of a verse of old Arlathan and Textile. We saw no end to fear for us, and songs would sing instead of birth, an unknown start more strange than death because the cost of harmony. We sang our wards to guard the heart, and bid our song be joined in kind, but harmony once joined bears cost eternal. Hather's Tomorrow, a predictive map which is perhaps counter to the concept of physical mapping, but central to Veil Jumper survival. Know where you don't know the danger is. The Hand Right. Young as elven artifacts go. The right, the last to reach back, not grasping, but bidding farewell. Don't mourn what we were, because while we endure, it has not died. Pocket Frog. The master cut away all that was not glory, and their perfection was witnessed by a singular vault. June said, sweep in their wake, and make each imperfection a shared simple joy. Promise of Glory, a relic that claims prehistory when gods wrote decrees of coming ascension. There are fewer hands, the first warnings of betrayal, and the change that would eventually claim them all. Harding's notes on the thoughts on the stone sense. Some of the stuff I didn't read from last episode, so apologies. I can more reliably use my new abilities now thanks to Rick's encouragement. Oddly enough, it's easier to handle certain kinds of rock. Some just don't seem to respond to me. Is it a Titan thing? Maybe some stone is closer to or part of a Titan? Maybe I just need to get better? I don't know. It must be stone sense, just extra. I can now do the things that people with stone sense can do. Really? If I concentrate hard, I can tell if there's a cap. Okay. I was like, the magic part, that's stone sense, people can do that. The shapers. If I concentrate hard, I can tell if there's a cavern close by or water or lyrium vein. I can tell different types of rock apart. They sound different, but I'm listening with something other than my ears. That makes no sense written down, but it feels true. Encouragement from Harding's ma. Dearest Lace, remember when Sir Russ bucked and threw you and you landed face first on that pitchfork? There were so many tears those first weeks from not recognizing yourself in the mirror. But that was mostly the swelling, and in the end, the scar didn't ruin anything. This scar? Okay. You learned to accept it as part of you. Of course the Titan's gift changes you. Every day adds something new. Sometimes it's little, sometimes it's big, and so often it's painful, but it doesn't lessen us. Change is difficult, but all growth is, and a thing that stops growing, well, it's dead, isn't it? I do worry, of course, about what it all means, but I've always worried a little about your adventures. Whatever comes, I know you're strong enough to bear it. Love, Ma. Harding's notes on Kal Shirak. I've been thinking about Kal Shirak. Aside from Orzammar, it's the only other great Taig we know about. It was supposedly destroyed in the first Blight. The Taig was in the Darkspawn's path, and the dwarves sealed it off and retreated to Orzammar. They abandoned their own people. And then about 20 years ago, we learned that the city survived and continues to hold a terrible and justified grudge against Orzammar. Kal Shirak has secrets. Many, many secrets. How they survived the Blight is one, and I hope a greater understanding of the Titans is another. Charter knows people who can put me in touch. I hope they're okay talking to me. It doesn't matter if they don't know much more than I do. If they accept the Titans and are curious about them, it'll be a huge improvement over Orzammar. Orzammar and Titans. Getting the strong feeling that Orzammar doesn't want to acknowledge the Titan's existence. You'd think the capital of Dwarven civilization would be interested in the history of our people, but nope. Almost 10 years since Shaper Volta connected with her Titan, and they don't care. I know they know. I delivered the Inquisition report to the Assembly myself, so she was in the know about the Descent DLC. Technically, I delivered it to an Assembly aide because I'm a surfacer, and I don't get to be anywhere near the Assembly Hall. Sure wasn't fun learning that. Records that exist outside of Orzammar mention Great Sleeping Titans and the First Ancestors. Maybe Orzammar's leaders removed all reference to the Titans from their memories on purpose. Maybe they buried our report on Volta for the same reason. Are they afraid of something? Maybe accepting that we all came from the Titans makes it harder for them to defend the caste system and the treatment of the casteless. Ugh. Letter from Ireland to Balara. Balara, it was good to see you. Felt a little bit like old times, just going out there and doing the work instead of worrying about everything else that's happening right now. I know things are a little weird, and I know that some of this isn't really my business to say, even when we were together. But I'm going to say it. You have to stop beating yourself up over what happened with Syrian. I know you think you're the person who can fix anything, but you can't. No one can. You're a friend, Balara, and I still care about you, so give yourself a break. A meditation on grief. They say grief is a knife, sharp, painful, immediate. But grief isn't a knife. It's a stone, choked down and kept down. It erodes. Time makes it smaller, lesser. You forget about it. It passes into memory. Where you used to feel its pain, now you feel nothing. But sometimes it turns, a note, a flower, a smell. The smoothly worn edges retreat, twist away. What comes now is as sharp and jagged as ever. It cuts anew, it's worn anew. Then it all happens again. And unlike a stone, there is always another jagged edge. Scouting report, the trees are singing. Expedition scouting report, Veil Jumpers, Renin, and Nasir reporting. The trees in Ruins Reach started humming today. We heard faint echoes and went looking. We could never pinpoint it, but it sounded like music. It took us a while to realize it was coming from all directions, so we spent an hour going in circles trying to make sense of that. Finally, it dawned on us. It was coming from the trees. We were completely surrounded by the hum inside it. The whole forest was bathed in it. I couldn't tell if it was the leaves or the branches making the sound. We brought back samples of both, but as soon as we left the Ruins Reach, the hum stopped. We haven't heard it since. Reflections on an alluvion. Tucked under a stone, these notes are a mixture of Kunlat and the common tongue. The breath of purpose is extinguished. The others have returned to their roles, or they have vanished into the roads beyond. Should I return? My role awaits me, yet I am here, and the worlds I have dreamed of are close. The Qun teaches that every step on the path represents the choice to continue or perish, for only the dead remain still. In choosing, we go towards wisdom or away, toward the true self or away. I stand before the mirrors and see a single being struggling with a choice, but solitude is illusion, struggle is illusion. In a reflection, the path forward looks like the path behind. One finds truth by passing through. Girl, what? So I got distracted midway through because I was like, these are all unique tarot cards, and I should look at them deeper. But also, what? So that's what Elgranon looks like. He's this one. Gillanon is the other way around. Just some info on my, or trying to memorize some things. Let's read about the Imperial Chantry. There are those who would tell you that the Chantry is the same everywhere as it is here, that the divine of Val Royeaux reigns supreme in the eyes of the Maker, and that this fact is in question throughout Thedas. Do not believe it. The Maker's second commandment, magic must serve man, not rule over him, never held the same meaning with the ancient Tevinter Imperium as it did elsewhere. The Chantry there interpreted the rule as meaning that mages should never control the minds of other men, and that otherwise their magic should benefit the rulers of men as much as possible. When the clerics of Tevinter altered the chant of light to reflect this interpretation of the commandment, the divine of Val Royeaux ordered the clerics to revert to the original chant. They refused, claiming corruption within Val Royeaux, an argument that grew until, in Tower's age, the Chantry in Tevinter elected its own legitimate and uncorrupted divine Valhale, who was not only male, but also happened to be one of the most prominent members of the Tevinter Circle of the Magi. This black divine was reviled outside Tevinter, his existence an offense to the Chantry in Val Royeaux. After four exalted marches to dislodge these rebels, all that the Chantry in Val Royeaux accomplished was to cement the separation. While most aspects of the Imperial Chantry's teachings are the same, prohibitions against magic have been weakened, and male priests have become more prevalent. The Circle of the Magi today rules Tevinter directly, ever since Archon Namaran was elected in the Storm Age directly from the ranks of the enchanters, to great applause from the public. He dispensed with the old rules, forbidding mages from taking part in politics, and within an age, the true rulers within their various imperial houses, the mages took their places openly within the government. The Imperial Divine is now always drawn from the ranks of the First Enchanters and operates as Divine and Grand Enchanter both. This is utter heresy to any member of the Chantry outside Tevinter to return to the days of the Magisters, which brought the Blights down. But it exists, and even though we have left the Tevinter Imperium to the mercies of the dread Gunari, still they have endured. Further confrontation between the Black Divine and our so-called White Divine is inevitable. Lyrium. Lyrium is the king of metals. Beneath our feet it sings. When properly refined, it is a smooth, slightly iridescent, silvery liquid. In the hands of the dwarven smith caste, it is mixed with steel to produce indestructible armor and blades that hold an edge for centuries. In the hands of the shaper, it becomes a repository for living memories, and some scholars maintain this as evidence that Lyrium is itself alive. We know this now because of the Descent DLC and how red Lyrium is blighted, so obviously it's living. It finds its most lucrative its application in the hands of the Formari, who use it in conjunction with baser metals like gold, silverite, iridium, or even iron to produce enchantments. Though mages, of course, consume it in a diluted form to bolster their abilities, this is not recommended. Overindulgence in lyrium can have disastrous consequences, particularly in more concentrated amounts. It is not advisable, for instance, that any reader handle raw lyrium, which in many cases can kill on contact. Let's actually play the game now, after I read this codex. Sorry. King's Draft. Action on behalf of Antiva. As 7th Talon, I give notice that the Antivan Crows have drawn a contract against the enemies of Treviso, the Antam. It is not the Antam. We aren't required to give... Okay, it's between the 5th and the 7th Talon. We aren't required to give His Majesty a point by point, but he's your blood, Viago. It is a courtesy to let him know that we are going to war. The occupying Antam are strong, driven, fanatical. They cannot be reasoned with because reason is just a weapon to be resisted. They can be killed, of course, but removing a leader does not remove their desire to be led. They are a force we must contend with, but they are not Treviso's true enemy. A name, Viago. Contracts require a stabber and a stabbee. Taya, you know my doubts. But the butcher took the city too easily, and there is a dealing with the gods there that I dread to know. But I fear that the true enemy of Treviso is not known because they are known, merely unrevealed. The hand that leashed Treviso, is that nebulous enough? Yes, that is a series of someones we can eventually kill, but not someone we can send my father. Not something we can send my father. On to draft 5 then. Neri, begin again. I got turned around. Wait. No? Yes? Okay, this is not where I'm supposed to be. This is a side thing. Okay, I should be taking the... Well,
Occupied.
let's just talk to her.
The insult of it.
It's more than insulting.
It's salt in the wound. And that is my purview.
I could have daggers in 100 necks by nightfall.
No doubt. But more necks would present themselves tomorrow.
I have other daggers.
Oh.
Am I interrupting?
Forgive Thea. She gets testy when a contract is delayed.
I don't get it.
Help me out here. What contract?
One that may involve you.
Who?
You want help against the gods. We want Treviso free. We now think they may be the same problem. The occupation has a face. The Antam commander, Keith Lord butchered Dathrata. But Viago thinks killing him outright is short-sighted.
The butcher took the city suspiciously fast, removing him as
Right.
useless
You
as
can't
someone
take out the
else
head
could
unless you
repeat
know
that
what's
with the
keeping
help
the
of
head up.
gods or something else. Despite it being the outcome, assassination is not about killing, it's about sending a message.
And what message would that be?
The Crows rule Antiva, and Treviso will be free.
Ooh. The Crows rule Antivan?
You're in charge. Antiva has a king.
And the power of a king is enforced by armies. Antiva has no army. It has the Crows.
There's a reason Antivan coins have portraits of guild leaders, not royalty. We're patriots. Crows can't field a battalion, but we protect our nation our way.
Tell me about the butcher.
Butcher Dathrata. What do you know about him?
The Antam army fractured, split among warlords, and he seems to have kept the most traditional discipline. And the rank and file like it. His numbers keep growing, but the butcher himself is odd.
Odd how?
He gives daily speeches about how the occupation is somehow merciful. And the way he talks, it's familiar. It's like he thinks he belongs here. And I won't have it.
Occupation was too easy?
Sounds like you think the occupation wasn't just about force.
Cruel as the butcher is, he didn't break the city with a siege. It was sudden and complete.
Like he had it all mapped. Where to march and what to close off to choke resistance.
He had inside information.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe somebody conspirating with him.
And until we know what it was, killing him isn't the contract.
Gods want Treviso?
Gods care about taking Treviso.
The butcher wants Treviso. The gods may just want the Antam.
But Antam distrust magic and outright fear demons. They should be enemies.
Power can turn anyone against their own interests, their own people.
Helping the Crows helps everyone in the long run. What's the first step to your message?
We have a scout named Dareth. He said he was onto something the butcher was hiding.
Okay.
He was in the Drown district, so that's a place to start. Find our crow and help with his contract.
Got it.
Find
Easy.
your crow, then what?
We break this occupation. We craft the message one step at a time.
And when we finally assassinate the person who leashed Treviso, that death will tell everyone. The Crows rule Antiva, and Treviso will be free.
Okay.
I've noted the location of Dareth and his cousin, Jacobus, in the
Jacobus.
Drown district. They're always together.
Okay.
Jacobus will be eager to help. Perhaps too eager for one so young.
Can you blame him?
Oh my god. Can you
We've all
guys stop
lost
talking?
too much to this occupation.
Okay, thanks for going. Bye. How do I get out of here? Oh. Whoa. Boo. Whee. Please. We're flying through. Okay. Oh, this fucking keybind.
You don't have to answer this if you don't want to, Lucanus, but how did the Venatori stick you with spite?
They fed me something. Like he was a parasite in uncooked meat.
You know, I've spent lots of time around demons, but I've never heard of them being used that way.
Zara said she got the idea from some cult in Orlais. They used it on seekers who are immune to demons.
Never mind. I was gonna say, is that like with the wardens? But that was a different thing. They bound the demons. Well, maybe it's the same thing. This is a big ass area. I don't. Ah! Okay, so what's up with this blight cyst here? Hello! Esmal bloodbound to Eldraine. Okay. Let me just start with this. And then he's resistant to necrotic. So we want my fire. Did we not do what we needed? Okay. Ow, I was dodging, but it's fine. New heal. I'm pressing 4 instead of healing. Thank you. Okay, well, nothing you do is gonna be too helpful. I mean, as far as combo potential. I blocked, it's fine. Ooh. Okay, let's do that. Okay, there we go. What's going on here? Am I dealing damage at all? I'm doing like 10 damage. I blocked! Oh my god. Where is he? Oh, well, okay. I missed. Kind of? Not really. I'm fucking blocking, dude. Probably gonna die. Okay, we finally broke his armor. I'm getting out. I am also taking damage somehow. Okay, I need some help, sorry. Thank you. Oh, that shit he leaves behind, okay. Hello. Yeah, he's still vulnerable to fire, okay. And then go ahead and do your thing. Oh, I fucking up. I fucking up. I fucking up. I'm going to die here. Get me out. Is there any other healing potions hiding? Stop. Just got bashed in the face. Oh my god. Oh my god. Please, give me help. Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire. God. Yeah, yeah.
Just say when.
What's that? Move. Move! Okay, I need some health. Thank you. Ah! Why? What did I just take damage from? What am I bleeding from? Bro, I'm tired. I wasn't supposed to be in this fight. Okay, well, it would appear I'm not supposed to be in this fight right now. Hello? Why can't I load last save? I can't do anything. So never die is what I'm hearing. Okay, I took a screenshot on accident. Oh, I have to hold. Why would you have to hold? Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. Okay, well. Basically, killing that dude again is not gonna help. But there is a chest over here supposedly, so let's just leave it. Just in case I somehow aggro this fight, we'll just know that okay, that's a fight for a later date. Oh wait, there was something there. We can pick it up later. We're gonna go back the way sometime.
Go on.
The Venatori were growing demons and people? That's what was happening in the ossuary?
Zara was trying to get certain types of demons. Some are harder to summon than others, I guess. They were waiting for Spike to break out of my body like I was a cocoon for a moth.
What?
I mean, I'm glad he didn't, but why didn't he?
We made a deal.
Lucanus meets Ilario for coffee and spends time in Treviso, taking in how life has changed since his imprisonment.
Come on, Ilario will meet us at Cafe Pietra. It's not that far from here. We have time before he arrives. I wouldn't mind looking around a while.
Okay. If things will load in, I would love
Everything
that.
has provenance.
This place, does it feel very different?
In some ways, more than I expected. But then, perhaps it's me.
So true, bestie.
Potted plant.
For Harding's garden, spearmint is supposed to calm bad dreams. It's good in desserts, too.
Cute.
So you and Ilario are cousins?
Yes, but we're more like brothers. Katarina took us both in a long time ago now.
Who do you think?
Here's the place.
Is it a fish?
Bellara mentioned the daily seafood recipe she wants to make.
The demon of Virantium is grocery shopping for the team.
Have you seen what they eat? It's a miracle you didn't all starve before you hired me.
Welcome back, Gale
Matt,
Decarios.
it didn't seem like Ilario and Katerina were close.
It was hard to be close to her, even for me. And I was her favorite.
Ugh. Sorry, cat. Just hurtled over your
Back
ass.
to the Carnis.
Well, I'm just seeing if there's other things over here.
Fresh fruit. Nev only eats fried fish. You'd think a detective would have discovered scurvy by now.
Please.
Is that everything on the list?
Yes, and Ilario should be here by now. Let's go before he gets himself in trouble.
Ilario's probably not here yet.
Optional. Buy something for Lucanus. Where? I want to do the optional.
Your body is
Shut
a
up.
sacred
Show me what you
vessel.
got. Ooh. Shit. I got you,
You gotta buy something for everyone but yourself. Here. This is for you.
A wyvern tooth
a dagger.
I loved wyverns as a boy. Katarina would never let me have one of these, though.
Well, now you can. Not because she's dead. Because you're an old... Not old, but you know. You're an
Cafe
adult.
Pietra's just ahead.
That's where we're meeting your cousin. Why not the casino?
House Cantori has many talents. Making coffee is not one of them.
Finally. I thought you might leave me here all by my lonesome.
Please. You think I'd ever pass up Cafe Pietra's coffee?
You see, Rook, my cousin is all stomach and no heart.
Don't mind him. Ilario cannot appreciate anything but himself. They serve a specialty roast here. Andoral's breath. Bitter and sweet, like a kiss goodbye. You should try it.
I don't drink coffee. I guess sweeter.
Bitter's good. Chocolate is better.
They have chocolata calda. It was my favorite drink as a
Sure.
child.
I drink hot
Shame
chocolate, I
it
guess,
being
even though I hate
burnt.
chocolate.
I'm ordering the Choco Chico thing. Nobody's listening. Should we get to business?
There's still the one at table 3.
She just left to follow the waitress.
So, you have something?
The crows I sent after Sarah have picked up her trail. They say she's gone to Virantium.
Crows are sent after Zara had picked up her trail. Let's say she's gone to Virantium. That could help.
I have a friend who's very good at finding people.
Katerina was first stolen. This is crow business. We
Okay.
can handle it.
Apparently not. Your lead is not good, cousin.
You have better information?
We're compromised. There's no other way Zara could even touch Katerina. You need your eyes here.
That's true.
In Antiva.
Sarah would never be foolish enough to stay. Not with you out for blood.
Of course she would.
Is Ilario the
Crows
mole?
protecting her are here.
Rook, reason with him, would you? He's being paranoid.
I am not paranoid. She came after me. She came after Katerina. She will come for you too.
If it'll make you feel better, I'll clean house, all right? Leave this to me.
I mean, yeah, we didn't address that. Like, how did they collectively
He's gone.
Of course he is. Ilario always caves under pressure.
let Katarina die, you know? Like, who attacked? I feel like there has to be a mole on the inside, so... let's focus on Zara.
Zara's not going to get Ilario, and she's not getting away with anything she's done. I promise.
Don't promise. But thank you.
glad to be home.
So, you glad to be back in Antiva?
It doesn't feel real yet. And it wasn't this fool of Antam when I left.
I can imagine it's a shock.
They say taste and smell awaken our strongest memories. For so long, memories were all I had. But whatever the circumstances, the here and now is a much finer place to be. How's your chocolate calda?
Chocolate
Delicious.
calda.
Everyone deserves a chance to try it. Ready to head back to the lighthouse?
Almost.
Swirly, swirly, swirl. Okay, well, we had coffee with Lucanos, I guess. Just not expecting such a mundane little outing, but here we are. There has to be a twist. Somebody is on the inside, fucking up with the crows. Lucanus did some shopping in the Treviso markets and got a further look at the Antam's occupation of the city. After meeting Ilario for coffee, he remains worried that Zara will hurt his cousin as she did him and Katarina. What did you just get? Find Dareth. Since we're nearby, actually,
Best place in Treviso.
make sure
I can't
there's...
believe this cafe is hidden inside all the crowds and chaos. I love it.
Ooh, see? Found a little secret. Actually, there's nothing here, but... Okay. Literally nothing there.
Not even an army stops the Treviso market.
So many things you could buy. How do you choose?
Oh, I thought they were gonna have banter. Are you alive? Okay.
So I heard we're on a rotation for cooking?
Supposed to be, and used to be, but, well,
What is it?
well, some of it's an acquired taste. So I tend to do most of the cooking, a lot of the time.
Streets of Coin Financials. Oh, this is turning into Arlathan Forest again, where I'm just going down side paths.
So Spy doesn't worry you.
Well, a little bit. But Rook trusts you, and so I do too.
What if Rook's wrong about me, though? I am an assassin, a paid killer.
Well, no one's pushing you to kill me, so I figure I'm probably safe.
True.
Knock knock. Whose house is this? What's that? The hell? Oh, what
Trouble
the?
coming.
Hello? Hello? Okay.
Ready to go.
What was all that about? Whose house is this? Crow's Bill. Okay. Okay. It's a slow poison, so like, we don't need to be there in a rush, right? That's what they're telling me. Ooh. When payment is due, you'll be asked which way. The hard way. This is so much more damage. Permanently reduces the target's defense by 5. Enemies with 0 defense are damaged for an... Oh my god. Hell yeah. I'm like really... I don't want to say good at maps, but... Okay, I remember this place. In video games, like, I'm usually the one who's like navigating. So the fact... Well, I mean... I was gonna say the fact that I can't do it right now is bad, but I will say there's different maps, so like it's not my fault, you know. There's all these different world maps, so it's not like I'm getting used to one particular thing. It's like, no, this is a different place than that one, and you know, you've never been here before.
You weren't at the supper table last night? Feeling well?
Oh, I noticed. I wasn't hungry.
Harding made her potato stew.
Oh, I had no idea that she was cooking.
I didn't know that could happen to potatoes.
Oh.
It was a learning experience. It was a learning experience. Why are they called veil jumpers?
And
Why are
another
they jumping
Federal
over?
altar.
It's more that we're jumping into problem spots and less that we're jumping things, in general.
I wouldn't want the crows to start being called death climbers, is all I'm saying.
Oh, okay. But what about death jumpers, right?
For the gentle person of any station, there is a game of wits for you here in the garden. Yeah, I can tell that much. Okay, so those two pointing at each other for what? Ooh, oh, another lever here. Oh, and now you're gonna activate. Okay. Did that work? Sure. I don't think I fully understood that puzzle, but whatever. Jenny's belt. Unique grade and aid belt. Using a potion applies bees. Go on, use a potion. You can't spell belt without B, or B at least. Anyway, there's a B in it. Also bees. Cute. I don't think I can use it right now. Well done, friend. These statues' hidden mechanisms were crafted at the gracious behest of our king after I suggested an unexpected puzzle hidden in the art of the city could provide some merriment for the public. I hope it's amused you. If you are the first to solve the trick, please take the small reward for your cleverness. Yolanda Flores, inventor to King Flugeno II. Isn't that fun, Lucana Simbalara? Isn't it fun? It's slow poison, guys, okay? Get the joke. It's a slow poison. Is this a door?
So when the veil jumpers deal with a relic, who hires you?
Nobody? Who in a forest would hire us?
That's exactly what I was wondering. How do you get your jobs?
We figure out where reality's collapsing and go there.
Yeah, they're not paid to do things. We follow the actual markers now. I think we've explored everything we can and get back to playing the game. Just kidding, there's a new spot. Just kidding! New waypoint unlocked.
Wow. Even during an occupation, the market is still pretty busy.
I meant to pick up more spices. Another time.
Boy, you don't. Oh, hello. Okay. Have you been here? This is the same fucking marketplace, right? Yeah, this is the same. It's all the same. Okay. Here we go. Here we go. Gonna go find the Crow Scout. We never went this way. This is where we haven't gone because we went left. There we go. Now we're in some new spot, which means we got to explore again. Hello. No. Sorry. Shh. Sorry, guys. Wait back. Just wait a minute. Just wait. Whoa, whoa. Calm down, music. Oh my god. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, this is just another way to the same spot.
Place. Keep your eyes open. You may not be the only ones interested.
Aw. Okay.
That's done. Are you Yakubus?
Darren,
Oh,
please, you have to finish
The
Darren's
child.
contract. It's about the butcher. My cousin was going to spy on the butcher. He told me we'd pick up the contract from a dead drop. But then, someone has to finish this for Darren. Please.
We will take care of it. Go back to the diamond.
I will, just give me a minute.
okay. Dareth, your lead panned out. We have more shadow work for you. The contract is in the usual place across from Taya and Viago. Just follow the marks.
That note said Dareth should pick up the contract at the usual place across from Teia and Viargo. Just follow the marks.
There will be a trail of marks left by previous crows. It will lead us right to it.
I spotted something on the walls. Earlier, I mean.
Let's go look.
Oh,
A crow
oh,
mark.
this shit.
Perfectly thrown.
That's got to be Dareth's trail. Keep an eye out.
I've seen those, yeah. Me too. Good job, Alar. Yeah, teamwork. The Butcher of Treviso has employed a poisoner who manufactures comic. The recipient of this contract, Dareth, is charged with finding this comic master in the garrison and ending him. The recipient is also to deal with the traitor who allowed the Antam into the city should this person become known. Should the recipient fail, the next of kin may claim this contract. Okay.
The Butcher is making poison. Comic.
Comic? That stuff gives you nightmares. Chips at your mind.
If I were the Butcher, it'd be a good way to keep people in line.
We cannot let the Butcher unleash this on Treviso.
He won't. The Antam brought in a comic master to mix the poison. He's at the garrison. We stop him there before this goes any further. The grip.
I'm assuming it's not just for dwarves, but I like it. Like, zip lines are, you know, scary for him because he's a dwarf. Like, oh my god, here we go. Just hold on. Oh, that is a lot of people.
Crows fight us for Treviso, that is true. We respect the fight and the pride. I can smell you.
Ah.
An outsider.
Sound crazy as fuck, girl.
I am will-made flesh.
Hello.
So much.
Whoa. He's blighted.
Flesh.
That's not. Yeah. Yeah. He's he's blighted, all right. Okay.
What the Butcher design has come from me. Prove my word.
Nice.
On behalf of the Crows, poisoner. Poison.
Oh fuck.
It's done. The coming master's dead.
Thank goodness. Hate those
Jesus.
things.
First things first, let's destroy the rest of the poison. Then we figure out what was going on here.
Yeah.
That's the last of the poison, thankfully. Let's look for anything else that explains what's happening.
Oh. Journal page in a shaky hand. The Butcher rages. Someone has stolen the comic I made for him. I do not know who took it, nor is it my concern. I told him to have the human who betrayed this city investigate the matter. The Butcher was not pleased. Locked me in here, said I was changed. Let him find another comic master. I have fulfilled my role. The gods grant me another as a weaver of flesh.
Wait. This note says that wasn't all the comic. The Butcher's angry because some went missing.
Oh shit.
What? Who stole it?
No idea. But the note does mention the Butcher's inside traitor. The occupation had help. Teia and Viargo need to know they were right.
Ah, shit. Okay. Hello. Yo, you guys will not believe what kind of fuck shit I just fought.
Are you up?
Governor.
I told you crows to stay out of this.
Out of what? Defending our home?
If we had a stronger civil government instead of a bunch of circus criminals, the Antam wouldn't have a foothold in the first place.
A politician, I presume.
You're responsible for the city.
This is Governor Evenchi. They have concerns.
My concern is how you've endangered the city.
We're defending Antiva.
These protections are in place for the good of everyone. You act without oversight.
We crows are the oversight.
And yet, here we are, awash in Antam. And now, you've angered the Butcher.
Involves gods and traitors.
It's bigger than whatever it is you're whining about. The gods are corrupting some of the Antam.
And the butcher?
You two are right. He had help taking the city. Human traitors.
I didn't want to believe it. Killing the butcher does nothing if someone could just sell us out again.
I'd start right here. You Talons are known for infighting and betrayal.
You're accusing them. One of their crows died for this contract.
That's enough. Rook, thank you for finishing that contract. The only reward we have is to ask you for more.
Sure. Let's be nice
We're
about it.
allies. Of course I'll help.
Evenchi is right about one thing. The butcher will not like that we're fighting back.
We need to be ready. Rook, I will have every crow tracking this traitor and the gods, and we will send word when we find something.
The stakes are too high. This should be left to proper officials.
Go back to filing trade receipts, Evenchi. The crows rule Antivan.
And Treviso will be free. With or without you, Governor.
So, like, isn't this supposed to be their super secret hideout? Why is... There's so many people just coming in here and, you know, doing whatever the fuck they want. Maybe that's why the crows aren't so strong right now. The crows were vindicated when the team's investigation confirmed a traitor helped the butcher to occupy Treviso. Troublingly, they also discovered that some comic was stolen. Thief's identity a mystery. Taya and Viago began planning their next steps against the Antab, though for Jacobus, Darth's cousin, the occupation's cost is already too high. A lot of cousins here. The training of Jacobus the Prodigy. What's that? More glowing shit. The covenant we grant. Just get all this good shit to buy.
Are you okay, Jacobus?
Oh.
No. After we lost our families, Dareth and I promised we'd look out for... I hate the Antam so much.
I'm sure Taya will welcome you to stay here in the Diamond.
I don't care. I don't sleep anymore anyway.
Okay.
But thanks for caring.
You should talk to some of the other occupation survivors.
You sound like air. Take time. Feel the loss how you need. I wish I were a full-fledged crow. I'm just trapped here, doing nothing.
Well, you need to, you know. Oh, that's cool. You got like a little, here's what the character has done so far in the game. Y'all ready for this? Oh, I mean, let me upgrade my character. Okay, we updated some abilities, so hopefully
Watch ahead.
have a bit of a better time with this. I think we do. Fuck you! I got the super axe. So, that begs the question, how the fuck do I get to this chest?
How do you get paid?
We don't. At least, I've never gotten paid.
Well,
You're performing a service, Belara. Veil jumpers should get paid for that.
Well, sure, but who's gonna pay?
Dalish clans, towns and villages around the edge of Arlethin Forest.
Maybe the towns... Dalish don't have much money generally, but how would it work?
I'll loan you my contract negotiator.
it's not, okay. Is there a way to just like go back to the lighthouse? Yes. Okay, love that. That's what I was worried about. I was like, so like, how do I get back to the lighthouse without just walking through the alluvions? Luckily, there's a fast travel option. Workshop could be upgraded. Wow. Laura, I got you a frog, I think. I think that's what I got.
Wow, thank you.
Ah. Girl, we're not even gonna talk about it. It's fine. Everything's fine. You know, whatever. I spent money on it, and like I brought it all this way after adventuring so long. See, Lucanus wants to say something. Probably not about the frog, but or whatever I gave him. But
Rook, do you have a minute?
I
Of
guess.
course. Something wrong?
Thea wants to meet.
That doesn't sound like a bad thing.
She wants to plan Katerina's funeral.
Oh. Right.
If you don't mind, I could use some backup. In case Spike gets out of hand.
Let's not keep Teo waiting.
More Lucanus shit. Oh my god. Like, I love him. I love all the characters. But we're doing a lot for these fucking crows right now.
For me?
A teapot. They really aren't having conversations about these things I'm getting them. What the fuck? Emphasis on the... Harding wants to talk. At least somebody wants to talk about something. Jesus. Nev. Why aren't you talking to me, Nev? Hey, what you want?
You've been quiet?
I know. Just thinking. But I said we'd talk, didn't I? I heard a voice after we saved that man.
Okay.
It told me I was touched by the ancients and that I should seek it out. Seek her out.
Answers, perhaps?
Do you think this voice has answers about your magic?
She must. What if she's like me? Maybe that's why only I heard her.
Yeah.
She said to look to those closest to the stone to locate her.
Other dwarves. Not surfacers like us, but ones who still live in the deep roads.
Maybe there are other people down there with magic.
I want to say this, but like not in a flirty way, but like, let's just say it in the flirty way.
You're going to drag me down to the deep roads?
I will absolutely drag you with me wherever I look for answers. I'll check with my contacts in Orzammar. The minute they give me a lead, we'll go.
It's a date.
A date?
I mean, a pre-arranged time and place for a specific activity. Unless you wanted it to be a date?
I, shouldn't get ahead of myself. Who knows if my contacts will have anything to say.
Right. Let me know.
You know, the way Nev's not giving me the time of day, maybe Harding is gonna be the one we're going for. I don't know at this point. I think Nev is more main story focused right now, unfortunately. It seems to be you know, she seems to be more doing main story stuff, so I wouldn't be surprised if later on she'll be more open and whatever. Okay, that's not what I want.
Scout Harding glows now? Is that a thing everyone's doing, or just her?
Well, just her. She doesn't really glow. That one time, I guess, but I don't even have half the companions still. So Nev should be happy that we at least have her. Whoa. Okay. We're gonna unseal this place. Hello, spirits.
The spirits are returning.
They should be safe now, with the defenders on alert.
Hallelujah. Just another vision.
Too many undead for my taste.
Oh. 24. Oh, man. I guess that boss I just fought was 24 also.
Those undead looked elven. Ancient. Well, whoever they served, they're fighting for the gods now.
Okay. Jeepus crust, dude. Is there another boss here? Is that what I'm being told? What the fuck is that?
Undead.
Who the fuck is that?
I'd say we found out who's responsible.
Betrayal of Felasan. Oh. Glaciate, besiege.
It's drawing power from the Fates air.
Is it healing itself?
Should weaken it.
What should weaken it? What do you say? Ooh. What are we doing? What do we do? No, very much not. I was dodging. I was dodging. Well, we got him to half health, so.
Beware the ancient that sleeps here,
Hey. We got Lucanus, you're good to go. Lara? Jesus, I don't fucking. Oh. These fucking blocks, dude. How the fuck? And he keeps hitting me! It's over. And then he blocks my attack anyways because he got his giant shield up. Meanwhile, whenever I try and block his attacks, nothing happens. He just, oh, I have piercing actually. I don't care about your shield. I have another Lucanus quest. Which we gotta do this. Unfortunate. Yes, tracked it.
Good, you're here.
Thank you for making the arrangements, Thea.
For Katerina? How could I do otherwise? I'm so sorry, Lucanis. This must be such a blow. Rook, thank you for coming with him. I need Juan de la Muerte to plan this. His cousin has been no help at all.
I'm sorry, Thea. This is just too much right now.
Tell us what you need.
What do you need us to do?
There's a lot to plan. But first, I need the ashes.
Ashes?
Make it help us. Yes, the ashes. Katerina's ashes. From the cremation?
Oh, yes, of course. I'll get them to you right away.
Ilario, what happened?
What do you mean?
Katerina, how?
Yeah, what the
How
fuck?
did the Venatori get to her?
It was you.
When?
It has to be
Where?
him, right?
In the estate? In the city? How did they get past our people? What did they use? Poison? Blades? I need to know.
Cousin, stop. You can't dwell
Okay,
on
but we need
this.
to figure
It'll
out
drive
what
you
happened. It's not even about dwelling.
I'm not dwelling.
Yeah.
Zara killed the first Talon. I have to know how if I'm going to stop her.
I told you. I'm handling it.
I don't trust
Boys,
you to
enough of
handle
this.
this.
We have other things to discuss.
It's Ilario.
My
He's the fucking
apologies,
mole.
Anardea. Continue without me. I'll get you the ashes.
He's acting strange.
Something's going on with him. I don't know what.
When he's not on the job, my cousin always has his head in the clouds.
Hilario can be a handful. But this? The only time I've seen him like this was when Lucanis died. You're worrying, aren't you? What will people say if they hear the demon of Virantium has a big, soft heart?
He's been careless at times, but never when his own life was on the line. Zara took down the first Talon. Anyone could be next. And my cousin doesn't want to think about it?
You have a point. It's not like Hilario to ignore a knife coming at him.
What do you need from me for the funeral?
Come. I'll get us some drinks and we can make the arrangements.
Our house owes you for handling all of this.
Katerina was family. Can you imagine what she'd say if she saw us all like this?
She'd be furious, especially at Hilario, as usual.
I barely know your cousin, and he already seems like trouble to me.
Oh, he is. I've lost count of the times I've had to pull him out of the fire on the job.
He's a good assassin. Most jobs don't have as many fires as yours do. I'll have my people keep an eye on him for you.
Thank you, Thea.
Go on. I'll let you know if something comes up.
I don't trust him. I don't think he's... You know, they're all just like, oh, he's just like that. It's like, no! There's something fishy. Why isn't no one telling us what happened with Katerina? And the fact that somehow, you know, how the fuck did they get into the stronghold of the crows? Make that make sense. Is that it?
As always.
What's happening?
Thank you for handling.
That was it? Okay. I thought there was more to that, but okay. It didn't even say like, oh, you finished the quest.
I met a shadow dragon once. Or I think I did. I mean, they didn't say they were probably a good idea, but I was pretty sure.
Why is that?
Most Tevinter are condescending, even the nice ones, but they weren't. And you remind me of them. So it makes sense.
I'll take that as a compliment.
Hello? Where the fuck are
Fewer people than I expected. Let's find Asher.
Asher.
The Viper. He prefers to be called Asher in private.
Oh, the Viper.
Said I could tell you.
Matthew Mercer. Okay.
Trouble in the Anvalanim. Darkspawn.
But those tunnels are safe passage for...
I know. We've had to close that entrance.
We can help. We recently had to deal with Blight. Those Darkspawn have to be destroyed before they get out into the city.
If you get through, signal the all clear at the hidden door.
Okay. Dog. Is there any loot in here before we head out? There's a bunch of hookahs, I see. Guys are smoking everything. Is this Thetis? I can't see shit. Oh. Just a second, just like. Oh. Where's the merchant? Here's
This
the
is
merchant.
troubling. Darkspawn in the city.
And in one of the worst places. The shadows rely on those tunnels to rescue people.
But why is it called that? On Valanim, it's the ancient elven word for womb.
Huh. Interesting. Valanim should have an entrance this way.
Okay.
The passage is hidden by a wall carving. Keep an eye out.
Oh, I can't go anywhere else right now. Okay, fine. We're going to the Anvalanim. Whatever you say. Anything you say. Every time you say. Hello? Brother D. Brother Nomad. Oh, you guys don't combo off of me. Sage. So this purple clothes is just Rook, or is just Shadow Dragon outfit?
Isn't it
I
supposed
thought it
to be
was Rook.
secret?
We help the people in Docktown. They know where we are. Someone might have talked about the shop. People spreading rumors, that's easy to handle. But Darkspawn, that's different.
Mr. Matt Mercer, I can't do
Really
very
saved our
good.
skins there, Rook. Those Darkspawn could have destroyed us.
It wasn't just Darkspawn. Venatori were there too, and they weren't fighting each other.
How is that possible? Darkspawn attack all living things.
Darkspawn are blighted. If the gods control the blight,
Yeah.
they might control the Darkspawn.
Exactly. I'll fight both anytime.
Darkspawn or Venatori makes no difference. We'll defeat them all.
If you're looking for answers about the Venatori, I may have a lead. A warehouse on the other side of the city. Lots of cult activity. And some of them were spotted headed towards a shop. Could be a coincidence, or it could be something more.
It's worth a look.
Agreed. Rook?
Let's go.
Let's go. I wonder if we're gonna get Davern soon. If we're fighting a bunch of Darkspawn now, the Darkspawn connection, you know. Where do we get the other three companions, basically? Feels like we're meandering a bit here. Obviously, that's partially because I'm doing side quests a lot, but still, like, even these main quest stuff in Mathis, it's like, okay, Venatori. Find a way inside.
There has to be another way.
Okay. Back onto the roof or something.
It's all the Venatori guarding the place.
Whee! Can I get this chest we saw earlier? Hello?
Sounds like someone doing magic. Not the good kind either. Chanting's never good.
No? Okay. What do you want me to do here? How do you... Oh. Use the other door, maybe? No? What? Okay. Hello? Okay, focus. Do we break our way through somewhere?
They're summoning Darkspawn.
How?
We stop them, then we figure it out.
Open up this door quick. Anyways, hey, motherfucker!
That's all of the Darkspawn and Venatori.
Thank you.
Let's search the place and figure out what they were doing.
Yeah, let's loot the place. Oh, whoa.
Look at this. Draining into the tunnels below the city, perhaps.
One more way the Venatori released blight into our tunnels. I'll tell the other shadows.
Anything else here? Oop. Hello. Knight Commander Linos, Venatori. We are blessed indeed to have such a loyal friend in you. Can you continue to serve us and you'll be richly rewarded for the glory of Tevinter Reborn.
This note. Knight Commander Lenos of the Minrathous Templars is being paid off by Venatori.
Damn it.
I kind of knew that, but nice to have writing. Ritual instructions. Elgranon has blessed us with ancient knowledge. The relic lets us control Darkspawn through their blighted blood. Use it to destroy our enemies in his name. Instructions follow.
The gods gave the Venatori a relic they can use to control Darkspawn.
Shadow dragons are watching us. Do not let them get close. The exact location of their hideout is unknown, but they use the catacombs. Send Darkspawn to root them out.
This explains the Darkspawn we keep finding in the catacombs.
At least they don't know where the shadow dragons are. Exactly.
Hey, Rook.
Oh.
Everything all right in there? Rook.
Venatori, stop leaving the rooftop passage open. It lets in a
I'd
trap.
see if you needed help.
Well, you're a bit late, Viper. Thanks for the offer, but it's over now.
Did you
The
find
fun is
anything
over.
in there?
The risen gods taught the Venatori how to control Darkspawn. Explains why the hideout was attacked.
We found documents from the Knight Commander. I knew he was crooked. I didn't think he was actually a Venatori.
Let's head back to the shop. We'll discuss things there.
Managed to catch the stragglers fleeing the warehouse.
They'll think twice before coming back here. What else did you find?
The Venatori serve Elganon and Gillenane like we thought. They gave the cult control over Darkspawn.
Great. Sounds like the Venatori are going to be even more trouble.
We'll handle whatever comes.
We can handle anything the Venatori
Well,
throw at us.
I didn't mean like that.
It's good that you're back. You know more about the risen gods than anyone. Not surprising, since you technically set them loose in the first place.
Now, let's not dwell on past
Mayvaris
mistakes.
Talani. Hey.
The cult has its hooks deep in the city. Venatori backers sit in the magisterium chambers, and now they wield power given to them by the gods. We'll have to get along if there's any chance of surviving this.
May, what are you doing here? You promised you'd lay low.
Tried it, didn't much care for it.
Hi, I'm Rook. Please. You're Mayvaris Talani. Yeah.
Your Magister Mayvaris Talani. I watched you argue against slavery in the Magisterium, but I had no idea you were a Shadow Dragon.
I know you, don't I? Rook. They told me Varric stole you away for a job.
You know Varric?
You know Varric?
Oh, we go way back. I'll tell you all about it sometime. If Varric asked for your help, you must be something special. Shame I missed him while he was here. I've been away, laying low after all the allegations. The Venatori fabricated a scandal and had my magisterium title stripped from me.
Oh, shit.
I'm sorry. I hadn't heard.
We can talk about it later, if you want. My concerns feel petty when stacked against risen gods. The Shadow Dragons have a lot to discuss, but you, Rook, are expected at the Swan.
Me? The Cobbled Swan? Why?
The First Warden is here to speak with you.
What?
The First Warden? Let's hope we actually get some help with the Blight.
Come back when you can. I think we'll need your help again.
I'm finally getting Davrin, but what the fuck? The first warden. Shadows of Minrathous. The Venatori serve the risen gods who have given the cultists magic that grants them control over Darkspawn. The cult's influence and power spreads, which means trouble for Minrathous and the world beyond.
That warehouse the Venatori were in. Traders used it before. I remember for Elden Furs.
You have Dogtown.
Stored waist high 5 years back.
How did you join the Shadow Dragons?
Helped make the Templars look the other way when there was a slave rebellion going down. Turned out that the Viper was helping. He brought me on.
Tarquin?
Gallus.
Ah.
You good? Brooke?
Spotted any more Darkspawn?
Not close to the shop, but we're keeping alert. We haven't seen the end of them. Greetings, Rook.
Just making sure you guys don't have nothing to say. Ooh. Candlehop study. Do I remember a time when candlehops didn't run messages through the city? Such remarkable magical constructs. They seem to have no particular allegiance to the palace and absolutely none to the Venatori. In fact, they appear to actively avoid the cult. I even saw one burn their pamphlets. Where did they come from? And is it just me or have there been more candlehops lately?
I'm just the assistant.
Okay, let's see what kind of codex. Viper's Breath. Seemingly harmless on inspection, but lethal to those given its counterpart, possibly years earlier. It said if a single drop should hit the canals, 100 contracts would come due. Pall of the Unknown Magister. A sealed pall crafted to contain a specific powerful Venatori Magister. The Shadow Dragons haven't revealed or perhaps decided on the Magister, and so all are afraid instead of one. The Means of Antiva. A symbol of the last nation that dared disarm Antiva. Tap the empty crystal when on your first contract. Your blade needs no venom, save that which you give it. Grappling hook. A white liqueur with hints of elderflower and dark intent, served with 3 coffee beans and a smile not shared by the eyes. Colorless, guileless, harmless? Now we have. Hewn on the Rocks, a recent Drowned District staple. Rum is mashed with salt water and presumably seasonal parvalan fruit, floated from the dreadnought hold while Antam are distracted by their own windy butcher. Vint 6, the common red. A celebration of life, thick and sweet, served by the sip. Tradition says the more who partake, the greater the fortune, for no one is free until everyone is free. Dew of the Dales, like it says on the label, spirits for the spirited, an elven elevation of the brewing arts, sold only in Antiva, a guarantee that changes only slightly in other markets. The Ravens of Antiva. The first debate after Antiva partnered with the assassins was quite literally symbolic. The question was crow or raven. Early sculptors worked with both, and many remain despite the obvious victor. The Writ of Free Commerce. A reproduction of the decree exempting Antivan trade from royal taxation. Municipal fees remain but are rarely mentioned when merchants try to get similar writs passed in their home nations. Sign of Shaper's Respite. A plaque offering a dwarven translation of directions and sites in Treviso, proving a common history of trade that once again predates official records of discovering places where people already live. The Unspoken, a pantomime theater mask of Dirthaman. A narrative, he's the secret behind what beckons, whose revealed answers questions first denied, then demanded. The Mark and Throwing the Wings. This instruction will not take the place of practice. We do not hide, we move, and we need to show our path so we know where to go. And the people know where we've been, but do not have time for stencils or sigils, hence the mark and learning to throw the wings. Vellum is scored, waxed, stitched into a sphere, and filled with colored liquid. The ball is weak at deliberate points, and if thrown properly, 3 turns for body length, 10 for a street, it splashes into silhouette and wings. Why so careful to throw when splatter alone would mark the path? Is there anything we do that does not benefit from style? Keep pressure up on the Antam. I can keep a supply where we need fishers on the water. You'll be throwing tomatoes if I run out of squid ink. Vendetta. Whedon's seating is not limited by an occupation. All are welcome at the Cantori Diamond, but the most prestigious tables are invite only for the signature house game of Vendetta. In the game, played with a divination deck, Death and the Fool constantly trade ownership, eliminating a major arcana card with each pass. Hands are rebuilt with the minor arcana until Death at last takes the Fool, and best final draw takes the pot. Outcomes can seem nebulous, and it is rumored the entire exercise is a silent way to discuss contracts while hands are kept busy and away from weapons. These suspicions are always voiced by onlookers. The invited do not speak of vendetta. So it sounds like poker, but with rules that don't make sense, so it's just a cover. The Covenant we grant. Insight into how the gods manipulate enemies of the Antivan Crows. Vellum with lettering seared into it without pressure, as though the words emerge from the skin. It is directed at the butcher. This boon is yours, bound by the blood of beasts, as our ancestors bound the blood of dragons to themselves. As they claimed the strength of fire, we have been granted the strength of form, of burning muscles and taut veins. Through this, we become strong again. Through this, we become more. Carry this strength and join us. Another script is inked below, scrawled by a strong hand, sorry. Why do you hesitate before greatness? You should have spread our boon among your soldiers. I offered you a blade to crush our enemies, but you clutch your pen like a scholar. Do you even fight alongside your brothers? Your way is old as weak. My Antam will bury yours, the Dragon King. A third script is hastily appended, presumably the butcher. I hate that oafish fool. So is it like one taking over the next or something? I don't know. The Delamort Vineyards, Viago. Do you have a map of the Antam's movements through Antiva, or records of their activity? From an offhand remark, I learned a vineyard south of Treviso was burnt to the ground. It was one owned by the Delamorts. I visited a few times. I remember the sign at the front gate with its brightly painted vines. Katerina was ensuring the families impacted were taken care of. I should ensure the same. Lucanus. Note attached. Fee has attached everything you need to know and more. I've added a list of every contract closed with an Antam as a target. We have suffered, but the Antam have never been unchallenged. I have a bottle from the vineyard dimension. We'll drink it when Treviso is ours again, and it will be all the sweeter. Taya. On the invasion. Treviso has always been a free port. Even the merchant princes respect this. Their fortunes exist because we trade and work where we will. So of course the first act of the Antam invasion was to blockade our trading ship with their dreadnoughts. Then they somehow took out our guard outposts in a single evening. After that, the Antam built fortified camps right inside Treviso, positioned as though they'd already figured out where to choke off resistance, or as though someone drew them a map. The butcher seems capable. He has irritatingly a gift for anticipating acts of sabotage, but I want to know what traitor gave that monster our city before we see him dead. It's fucking Ilario. And, like, who else is it? I don't think we read these ones. Okay, the Antam invasion. When the Antam invaded the south, the people there were completely unprepared. Antiva and northern Ravine were overrun quickly, with the invaders pushing down through the Greendales to the Menanter River, leaving only the southernmost of the free marches spared. From there, the Antam pushed west, overpowering Tevinter magic with Gatlock cannons of brute strength, until the defenders finally held at Varantium. Navarra was spared, likely due to the Antam fears of necromancy and unwillingness to attack until Tevinter was conquered, but almost half of the northern Thetis fell to Antam rule in just a few years. To those asking why the Antam waited centuries to attack in force if they were this powerful, I would remind them that the Qun teaches that outsiders are to be converted and educated. Under Qunari control, the Antam have been fighting only Tevinter, and even then they followed rules governing how and when to attack. Gatlock cannons were not to be used on civilian targets, for example. When the Antam broke from the Qun, they threw off the restraints that held them back. It's also important to note that the Antam fought alone, with little in the way of supply lines or experts in food production. The craftspeople and strategic experts who would normally support them had not broken from the Qun when the Antam did. The invaders needed to attack to keep eating. When they encountered resistance that would have forced a siege, the Antam invasion stalled. The Kithshaks, who wished only to conquer now, had to learn to rule the lands they would claim. So the Antam are deserters of the Qun? They're Tal-Vashoth, or what's going on there? Like I've heard, I don't know the specifics about, like, who specifically are the Antam. This thing's to imply that they're not part of the Qun anymore. So are they Tal-Vashoth? Are they a different sect of the Qunari in general? I don't know. The attack on Varantium marked a pivotal turn in the overall Antam invasion. As one of the largest cities in the Imperium, Varantium was a key shipping and trading port and a cultural center second only to Menrathis. Capturing it would let the Antam cut off Menrathis from the rest of the Empire and, with the help of the naval blockade, starve the city into submission. Reports state that the Antam were initially greeted with celebration by slaves harvesting crops outside the city. They knew the Magisters feared the Kunari and saw in the Antam a chance for liberation from oppression, as the Kunari at Kirkwall had done for the Elves. But the Antam warlord leading the attack, a Kithshok called Staffbreaker, punished soldiers who tried to treat with the slaves. He ordered that all boss be cut down to shake the resolve of Varantium's defenders. Had Staffbreaker welcomed the slaves, he might have guaranteed supplies for his army and gained converts from those who had suffered under Tevinter. Instead, he accomplished what was once thought impossible, making the Magisters of Tevinter seem the lesser of two evils. From slave to Magister, every hand supported Varantium, and battles between Gatlock cannons and mage staves left everything east of the city a charred wasteland. As of this writing, in 952 Dragon, Varantium remains besieged under bombardment from both land and city, but the Antam have pushed no further. Interesting. What am I missing here? The trainings of Jacobus the Prodigy. Or Jacobus, sorry. Please describe the Antam. Blade to the base of the horn of the ear. Of the horn at the ear, or up from behind between ribs on the left, slash back of ankle to hobble to get targets in range. My family name is the last thing they hear. Please describe the Venatori. I don't care about the Venatori. Poison, I guess. Please describe the rest of the page is obscured by a series of angry scribbles and several horned heads with X's for eyes. Jacobus, knowing a potential target requires more than merely how you would kill them with blood in your own heart. That is not what contracts are. We will begin again when we have time to grieve. I worry that you Aird's instruction is obscured by more scribbles. Regarding the above, no doubt you and Viago have noticed that Jacobus has been gravely affected by losing his cousin. I would ask that in your roles as Talons, you consider how best to guide him and others who have felt similar losses. He shows immense promise, but left to fester in vengeance, he and others could soak the streets in even more needless bloodshed. That's not the goal of my teachings. Let's see. Let's read about the Kunari a little bit. The people of the Kun are perhaps the least understood group in Thedas. The Kunari wars were brutal, but so was the Chantry Schism. So was the fall of the Imperium. Some of this misunderstanding is an accident of nature. The race we call Kunari are formidable. Nature has given them fierce horns and strange eyes, and the ignorant look on them and see monsters. Some is an accident of language. Few among the Kun's people speak the common tongue, and fewer speak it well. In a culture that strives for mastery, to have only a passable degree of skill is humiliating indeed, and so they often keep quiet among foreigners out of shame. But much of it is a result of the culture itself. The Kunari view their whole society as a single creature, a living entity whose health and well-being is the responsibility of all. Each individual is only a tiny part of the whole, a drop of blood in its veins, important not for creature, but for what is to the whole creature. Important not for itself, but for what is the whole creature. Because of this, the Kunari most outsiders meet belong to the army, which the Kun regards as if it were the physical body, arms, legs, eyes, and ears, the things a creature needs in order to interact. One cannot get to know a person solely by studying his hand or foot, and so one cannot truly meet the Kunari until one has visited their cities. That is where their mind and soul dwell. In Sahara and Parvalan, one can truly see the Kunari in their entirety. There, the unification of the Kunari into a single being is most evident. Workers, whom the Kun call the mind, produce everything the Kunari require. The soul, the priesthood, seek a greater understanding of the self, the world, and exhorts the body and mind to continually strive for perfection. The body serves as the go-between for the mind, the soul, and the world. Everyone and everything has a place, decided by the Kun, in which they work for the good of the whole. It is a life of certainty, of equality, if not individuality. Vitar. Oh, these are the face markings, I think. After extensive study of the Kunari specimens you kindly provided, I've come to the conclusion that the painted markings on their face and body are not, in fact, ceremonial, but provide practical benefit. Oh, I'm certain there is some cultural significance to the patterns and colors, but Kunari do nothing without purpose, yes? They call these markings Vitar, which in their tongue means poison armor. It's called this because the markings are magical in nature and actually harden their skin to an iron-like quality without hindering flexibility. And my analysis says the paint consists largely of poison. It's mixed with something else, blood, perhaps their own, and that neutralizes the poison, but only for one with Kunari physiology. Anyone else would perish almost instantly. Which reminds me, I'll kindly require another body slave. Jesus. The process activates the magical qualities of the poison, which provides the protective effects almost in the same manner that lyrium runes do. How this works, whether it can be used for our purposes, will require further study. Perhaps some live specimens this time. From a Magister, of course. Xeon the Antiquarian. Can we go here? to his place. I left the Black Emporium empty-handed for 2 reasons. First, most of the items were priced far beyond what I could afford. Second, I spent most of my short time there trying to sate my curiosity about its proprietor. I found myself stealing glances at the antiquarian from behind piles of books between shelves and at one point over a basket of mismatched socks. There he sat, petrified, in the center of the Emporium. Skin of waxy gray over ancient taut sinew, moaning in a voice so dry and brittle it sounded like the snapping of twigs after a drought. A girl of not more than 12 scurried to and fro to fulfill his numerous requests. Another patron noticed my fascination and told me that the girl, most likely an urchin, was responsible for the needs of the antiquarian, feeding, washing, and the like. So impossibly old is he, and so fragile is his skin, he could only tolerate the barest whisper of touches from the smallest and most tender of his servants. Only in this way may he come close to his lost youth. I was surrounded by objects of legend, yet none fascinated me as did the antiquarian. The Veil. We already clicked it, so we're going to read it. This will be our ending codex, sorry. Been reading a lot, sorry. The Veil. I detest this notion that the veil is some matter of invisible curtain that separates the world of the living from the world of the spirits. Whether it be called the fade or the beyond or the matter of racial politics, I refuse to indulge at the moment. There is no this side and that side when it comes to the veil. One cannot think of it as a physical thing or a barrier or even a shimmering wall of holy light. Thank you very much for that image of perfection. Think of the veil instead as opening one's eyes. Before you opened them, you saw our world as you see it now, static, solid, unchanging. Now that they are open, you see our world as the spirits see it, chaotic, ever-changing, a realm where the imagined and the remembered have as much substance as that which is real. More, in fact. The spirit sees everything as defined by will and memory, and this is why they are so very lost when they cross the veil. In our world, imagination has no substance. Objects exist independently of how we remember them or what emotions we associate. Mages alone possess the power to change the world with their minds, and perhaps this forms the nature of a demon's attraction to them. Who can say? Regardless, the act of passing through the veil is much more about changing one's perceptions than a physical transition. The veil is an idea. It is the act of transition itself, and it is only the fact that both living beings and spirits find the transition difficult that gives the veil any credence as a physical barrier at all. Intriguing stuff. We're 20% done, which is lovely. Next time, we are going to explore Minrathous a little bit more, I think. Docktown specifically. We got some quests here. We got to go talk to the first warden, which means we might get a new companion soon, hopefully. I'm not sure. But we will do some little bit of exploring. Oh, we just have give Nev her gift, even though that doesn't really do anything. There's no dialogue or anything. And yeah, we're level 16. We're close to getting a specialization. We have... Oh, my one hand is actually stronger right now. That's funny. Well, maybe I'll just run around with Sword and Shield at the moment then. But yeah, I'm having fun, obviously. I hope you guys are enjoying too. Let me know if I need to change anything, what kinds of stuff is important, what kind of things are fun to watch. I think I'm going to cut out some of the combat exploration bits because those can kind of slog, I know. Just watching me run around, do puzzles that aren't really interesting to watch, combat that isn't particularly hard or fun to watch, but I try to keep in most of the gameplay just to like show this is what I'm doing. But we'll see. I might trim down in the future episodes. So let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you in the next time.